Baba has given us knowledge, and every child who has love for Baba also understands the knowledge. Yes, we understand that I am a soul, but understanding is not enough. Baba says that whatever you understand, you have to practice, because that is the difference between the one who will become a king and the one who will become a subject in Satyug. So you see that, sometimes you may know how to cook. Yes, you know what ingredients to put. You know what temperature to put something at. You know how to cook a dish. But if you don't go to the kitchen and cook, can you taste it? No. So similarly, Baba says that you know you are a soul. But do you taste the taste of being a soul? Because you see that we are a soul anyway. It's not that after Baba came, we became a soul. So, I and you are souls, right, through eternity. That's our identity. But there is a big difference between a soul being soul conscious and a soul being body conscious. Because what matters is what is your consciousness. So I am a soul anyway, but am I soul conscious or am I body conscious? Because if I am body conscious, then the body is perishable and every aspect of the body is, uncertain. The age is uncertain, the health is uncertain, the death is uncertain. Every aspect of the body is uncertain. And if I am body conscious, then what I will feel inside is uncertain. There will be, chaos inside, because I'm not sure about the future or the present of that which I am conscious about. But if I am soul conscious, then the soul is eternal, imperishable. So can you have fear if you're soul conscious? So, and then the soul is virtuous and powerful. The soul is the child of God. So the soul is a master ocean of every virtue and every power. So how would you feel when you're soul conscious? But the thing is, Baba says that don't be careless about practicing that I am a soul, because every practice requires taking out time, paying attention. So in any practice, I remember there was a workshop in our office once, and they were teaching us how, even while sitting on your desk, you can exercise and make sure that, your limbs are functional and everything is flexible. And people were very happy to know that. And, the day that they were teaching it, everybody practiced. But after they had left, nobody practiced. And then it was the same thing, that same disease for which they had come so that it could be avoided, those diseases were there. So Baba says, sometimes we get very good information, but until we practice on the lines of that, you cannot get the benefit hidden in that piece of knowledge. So Baba says, don't be careless about practicing that I am a soul. And you see that if you look at your chart every day, how much time you took out to sit and practice that I am a soul. And when you are a soul, obviously the only thing you remember is Baba and your home, because that is the eternal truth. Everything else that you remember is about this body. But as a soul, your permanent home is the soul world, and your permanent relationship is with Baba. So you only remember Baba and your home when you are a soul. So do we sit in that awareness for some time every day? And then do we keep coming back to it? One is building your awareness, and usually that's done early in the morning. So in Amrit Vela, you build the awareness that I am a soul, my home is the soul world, and my father is Shiv Baba Almighty. And then when you sit and contemplate on what kind of a soul are you. So you are so subtle that nobody can see you. Nobody can know you. Yes? So anybody making a comment about you doesn't know you. You are a soul and nobody knows you, because what they know is body and what you do through the body, or their interpretation of what you do through the body. But you are a soul and nobody can see you, nobody can know you. And you are full of virtues and full of powers. And when you sit and consider yourself to be a soul, you don't consider your acquired sanskars, because those are acquired through bodies. But you see yourself in your original sanskar. So you are not the body, you are not the acquired sanskars. Yes, so maybe, being angry is a sanskar right now. But that's not your sanskar, that's a sanskar that you have acquired. So when you sit and think about yourself as a soul, you think about yourself in your original quality, in your original form, in the face of your original father, in the image of your eternal father Shiv Baba. And when you think about that, when you pay attention to that, then Baba says that wherever attention goes, energy flows and that thing grows. So your spiritual powers invoke, your virtues are invoked, your fearlessness and your deathlessness is invoked when you sit in the awareness that you are a soul. But Baba says, don't be careless about this. Sometimes, the biggest accidents are caused by carelessness. The biggest losses are caused by carelessness. It's not because you don't do something, it's not because you do something wrong, but simply because you don't pay attention. And Baba says, don't be careless about this. Don't take this practice not seriously. So every day, take out time and build this awareness that I am a soul. And in Sangam Yuga, you cannot be soul conscious without Baba. Yes, just like you cannot see your body without a mirror. Can you see your face without a mirror? No. So you cannot see your spiritual face without Baba as a mirror in front of you. Because you don't know your spiritual face. You don't know how you are. You didn't know anything about yourself. You'd forgotten everything. So Baba is the mirror that comes in front of me, and in that mirror I see who I am really. So without bringing the mirror, you cannot see your face. So in Sangam Yuga, when you sit to meditate, you have to first invoke Baba. Because without Baba, you cannot remember Baba's knowledge. And even about churning, you see, when you churn on aspects of knowledge, though that knowledge has come from Baba. So without Baba's presence in your awareness, you cannot churn that knowledge. So you have to sit with Baba, sit in soul consciousness, and then because Baba gives the knowledge and Baba gives the knowledge to the soul. So knowledge makes no sense without Baba and without soul consciousness. So when we sit in yoga, even to churn the knowledge, so even if you're sitting and churning the points of knowledge, you cannot do that in body consciousness and in forgetfulness of Baba. You have to be in front of Baba and sit in the awareness of a soul to churn the knowledge about the soul. And when you do that, then you realize the spiritual potential of the soul. Just like, there is potential energy in matter, which has to be extracted and used. But that potential energy has to be first discovered. People did not know for many years that, water had energy which could be tapped and it could be converted into electricity and stuff. So there is energy, potential energy in matter, which science is making an attempt to tap into. Just look at the water which is still in a pond. Who thinks that, this water can generate electricity? Yes, but science made you know that this is possible. So Baba says, similarly, you as a soul are full of so much power and so much virtues. But when you are body conscious, you are not aware of that. And when you sit as a soul, then you become aware of your spiritual power, as just like a seed has that power inside it, you become aware of your potential power. And then Baba asks us to rotate the discus of self-realization, which is precisely remembering our journey of 84 births. And remembering our journey of 84 births is a very good method to arrive at soul consciousness and spiritual stage of power. Now you see that when you churn the discus of self-realization, you think about yourself as leaving one body and taking another, and doing that 84 times. Yes? Can you be attached to something that you have taken and left 84 times? You cannot be attached to that, right? So if you remember that, I remember, that there was this one brother and he was into business, and he said, I'm not attached to the business. I'm not attached to the money coming from the business. So I said, why? So he said, ever since I could understand, my father's business failed 6 times and recovered 6 times. So, with that whole experience, I feel that it is pretty transient. And I feel that, it does well sometimes, then it collapses sometimes, and then, in every time it's okay. You live through life, that's it. And of course, I make an attempt and effort to run the business well, but I don't live in fear, or I'm not very attached to the consequences. Because I've understood this is the nature of it. And you see, sometimes if you think in the right direction, then you can get these insights just like that also. But of course, it's according to the drama of that brother that he realized that. But Baba says that just think, just in your awareness, go and churn over this thing that you took 84 bodies one after the other. You shed one, took another, shed another, took the third. And now this is just your 84th body. Then can you be attached to it? It is just a temporary body, a temporary instrument that you have for this birth. So this is one good method of getting over body consciousness. And then you see, when you churn the discuss of self-realization, then you focus on the soul that's doing everything through the body in every birth. So the actor becomes very clear. The actor is taking many costumes, leaving many costumes, but the actor is not the costume, and the actor stands out in all of this. And when I churn the discuss of self-realization, taking one body, taking one body, leaving it, and taking another, and leaving that, taking the third one, then I focus on who is taking it, who is leaving it, and what do I carry. And you see that I, the soul, am so wonderful that I have all the part recorded in me. So, whatever I do through the first body, second body, third body, it's all there in me. It's just being played out through the body. But I'm such a complete soul. I have the part, I have the virtues, I have the powers, and I'm just expressing it through the body. And you become so aware of what is that hidden inside you, what is the part is hidden inside you. Because you see, when you are always looking at the cover, then you can't see that which is hidden inside the cover. But when every time you wrap and unwrap the cover, you can clearly see what's inside the cover. And in that practice of churning the discuss of self-realization, you are unwrapping the cover every time, and you are seeing who you truly are. And you are this wonderful entity who is just like a point of light, very, very subtle but very powerful. And you have the stability and the purity and the the spiritual love and the potential peace and joy to be a deity for 21 births. Just think about you having that potential. Yes, so you had you have the capacity to speak very less and operate through thoughts, and you had the capacity to be loveful in every relationship and be peaceful and joyful on your own. You did not require anything to make you peaceful and loveful or peaceful and happy. And when you think about that capacity in you, and not for 1 hour or 2 hours, people say that people can act for 1 hour, 2 hours, but if you live with them through 1 week, 1 month, then everything that they really are will emerge. And you see, how wonderful am I to be like that for 21 births? So I am that soul. And when you think about that, that capacity which is now merged in you emerges. Yes, so even if you take 1 hour to just stabilize yourself in the awareness of your deity stage, where you're constantly smiling, not laughing, not sad. You're constantly smiling. You're absolutely at peace. And you are always full of love. Your heart is, full of love for everyone and everything around you. And your words are sweet. You are looking at everybody as a soul, not like looking at everybody as a soul, but you have spiritual feelings and attitude for everybody. That feeling and attitude is not body conscious. You don't say, my husband, my child, no. You have that attitude of respect and love for everybody. So when you just hold yourself in that awareness for 1 hour, try doing that. And in that whole and it's not one birth, it's so when you rotate the discus of self-realization, taking 21 bodies, leaving them, and even if you spend 3 minutes in every birth, it will be 1 hour. And when you do that, you are living in Satyugi consciousness for 1 hour. And that latent consciousness in you is emerging. Yes? And do you understand, when you do the opposite, when you're watching a violent movie, you are living in that violence consciousness for 1 hour or 2 hours. Do you understand the difference between these two? So Baba says, pay attention, because this is not going to happen unconsciously. This is going to happen only consciously. You have to consciously sit and churn. And in the beginning, whenever you churn on something, no points come to you. But when you sit in silence and churn more and more, then all those points will emerge because they are there inside you. And in my experience, when you take your mind to the golden age and you take your mind to your golden aged existence and you start thinking about it, then really and actually that part of you which is, merged inside you, which remembers how you were in the golden age, starts, getting activated. And you will start seeing colors and things and, aspects of your personality which you have not churned about consciously. So, maybe you will see a sea or a hill, or you will see a bird, or you will see yourself, your dress or your face, which was not in your awareness. You had not thought about it, but it kind of comes to you, and it makes you, it makes you feel that, it's not that you are just doing it consciously, but this is a method to break open the lock of that which is hidden inside you. And once it comes out, it takes over your present energy, and you are, you come closer to that Satyugi energy. And then Baba says that, when you come to the Copper Age, don't think about yourself as somebody who worshipped deities. Think about yourself as the deity who was worshipped. And think about yourself as somebody who could fill the hearts, fill the aprons of the bhagats just with their drishti. Yes, so a lot of bhagats are coming to you, and you're not even raising your hand. You're not even raising your hand of blessing. You're just giving drishti. And that drishti is making everybody fulfill their wishes. And you have so much love and good wishes in your heart for every soul who comes to you. And this helps you invoke your observer state. Yes, the deities in the temples are very good observers. Sakshi, detached observers. They are never affected by the words, the stage, the cries and tears of those who are coming. They are always in their stage of, peace and elevation, and giving everyone good wishes and good feelings. So when you do this for 63 births, then your capacity to be detached and loving, this emerges. So you're absolutely detached from what they are bringing and very loving in your giving state. And then invoke your pure Brahmin stage, complete Brahmin stage. Don't think about yourself as the Brahmin you are right now. Maybe you're not following many maryadas or whatever, but just think about yourself as, Hanuman, somebody who is present for Baba, just like Hanuman was always present for God. Yes, and do you know that there is a story about Hanuman where, all his seva is taken up by somebody else, and then they challenge him that, what will you do now? We've taken away all your seva. And then Hanuman says that I will sit in anticipation that my Lord will, will yawn at some point, and then I will click my finger and help him get rid of that yawn. So this is the attitude of Hanuman. You are always there for Baba. Baba is serving the world in Amrit Vela, you're there with Baba. Baba is doing karmana seva through the body, you're there with Baba. Baba is serving through the mind, Baba is serving through wealth, you're there with Baba. Yes, so Baba, whatever Baba's yajna needs, whatever spiritual or physical or financial or in respect of time and energy, whatever the yajna needs, you're there with Baba. And just think about yourself as that Brahmin who is pure, who is free from vices, who is fully surrendered, and who is the right hand of Baba. And when you do that, then your final stage of that pure Brahmin is invoked in you. And then think about yourself as an angel who doesn't have a body, a gross body like this, a very subtle body, a subtle body that is not limited by time, space, situations, a body that can fly. And then you can reach out far and wide and be that instrument of Baba to serve far away lands and give that feeling of Baba's presence to those who are not even thinking about Baba. So Baba says that, be that angel. And when you keep doing this, you are invoking that elevated part in you which is right now latent. And Baba says, don't be careless about this practice. This is a very powerful practice. This is the practice that will shift your consciousness to Kalyugi to Satyugi. But Baba says that if you're careless about this, then you get nothing. And Baba says very beautifully today that every child of Baba understands knowledge, but not everybody becomes a king, because Maya tricks you into wasting your time and thought and not paying attention to the practice that Baba gives you. So don't be deceived by Maya. Pay attention to the practice of being soul conscious and the practice of rotating the discus of self-realization. And I think, if you started doing this, then 8 hours of meditation every day would not be a big deal. Because once you sit to rotate the discus of self-realization, it takes at least 1 to 1.5 hours. And you do that 2-3 times, and then you can have a quick rotation also if you're just trying to refresh yourself. Okay, Om Shanti.